But when we think about peace, most of you are aware of the Dalai Lama and his comments on peace. He's well known for it. And he tells us that we must first have inner peace. And I invite you to just close your eyes for a moment and ask yourself, what does peace mean to you? Just thinking, what does peace mean to you? There is a yogic approach to peace, a very distinct path, if you like, and I think it's very well summed up by Satchidananda. Peace is a natural condition of the mind. It's the modifications of the mind that disturb that peace. So when our minds are calm and still, then we feel peace of mind. But it's the busyness that comes into our minds that takes us away from it, has us lose it, if you like. And that can be through emotions or just getting very engaged in things, and our mind speeds up and our thoughts get busy, and we can lose touch with the peace. And if you bring that out to a wider picture of the world, it's almost like a mirror that can happen out there, that we could all be peaceful, ideally, and share that peace with one another. But minds get stirred up, and then actions get stirred up, and that's the way it happens. And Swami Radha also has spoken about peace, and she tells us that we are responsible for our own peace. That's where we have to begin, to be responsible for our own peace. But it's about self-mastery. How do we learn to understand our own mind and live in peace with ourselves and then live in peace with others? And we can be more successful in our working lives and in our family life and our home life the better we can understand ourselves, and the more masterful we become at understanding our emotions, understanding where our thoughts come from, and directing them the way that we want to. So I'm going to invite you to just close your eyes and bring your attention to your breath. Just feeling the breath in the body. Relaxing the shoulders, relaxing your face. I'm just going to read some words from Swami Radha to you. To find inner peace, we must let go of inner struggles, of identifying with old images, fears and resentments. Put our energy into the positive aspects of life. Identify with the light that you are. Swami Radhananda said, as I relax, I gain awareness. Awareness that I'm being supported and looked after. In relaxation, in me, when everything is relaxed and quiet and still breathing, the heart has its own rhythm. In this place of stillness, I have access to many other levels, such as joy and harmony, peace and well-being. I also have knowledge that it is not my energy, that there's something keeping me alive. This is the cosmic energy, the energy of the source. It's like going to a well and drinking from that source. So you might want to open your eyes and think about, where do we start? Where do we start with this? And I'm going to Thich Nhat Hanh for this quote. You cannot be compassionate to yourself, you will not be able to be compassionate to others. So that would be a place that you might think of starting, with self-compassion. And he also asks, can you look at each other and recognise ourselves in each other? Because really, if you think about that, that's the most peaceful thing that can happen. If everybody could only recognise themselves in other people, what a change that would make. So with Patanjali, we have things like kindness and compassion towards ourselves and others. And Swami Radha reminds us that consideration of others can go a long way. You know, we can't always feel compassionate, and we don't always have enough energy to be doing something kind, but we can be considerate. We can always start there. And we can think about self-care and how we can get rid of the negative within ourselves through our reflections, including criticisms of ourselves, criticisms of others. And sometimes it's low self-worth that drives it, or a negative self-image, lingering grudges or resentments. All of those things can fuel those negative wheels in our minds, and we can pick them out and weed them out through our reflections. And another very important thing is that we recognise our own needs and meet those. And take care to meet those, because then we're not reaching out to others to do it for us in some way. And we can be open to the light, and we can be open to the bounty and abundance of the world around us. But there are other things we can do, there are practical things we can do, and I'm sure you're all kind of fully aware of the things you can do and are probably fully engaged in quite a lot of them. Because as you reflect, you begin to be aware that there are actual choices. You know, we often feel helpless, you know, this is going on in that country and all this is happening here and there and government isn't listening, and there's a feeling of helplessness that can come with all of that. But there are also things that we can do. And one of them, for instance, is doing the best to select a livelihood that helps us and helps with our ideal of understanding and compassion. We may not be able to find the perfect job for that, but we can be as selective as we can be. And we can be aware of global and economic, environmental and political and social realities, and behave responsibly as consumers and as citizens. So we can avoid investing in companies that that take choices away from other people. And we can petition for situations. And we can engage without getting partisan in conflicts. We have to find our way with these things. They also take reflection. How do we do it? And speech, we need a speech that encourages frankness and courage. And for most of us, it's things like our safety or how we want to feel liked, those kinds of things that might hold us back. But again, through reflection, we can think about what is the straight thing to say, the truthful thing to say, that helps in the situation rather than causing more aggravation. So we have to find our own way, and every one of us has a different way. And life's complex, and every one of us has like a unique history and a unique path. It's not like there's one answer and that's what you do. It's just not like that. We have to find our own way. But reflection and our yoga practices can be so helpful. And I just wanted to kind of end my little talk by saying that we'll have some more ashram courses online quite soon, and they will include self-care and yoga in action. And before that even, we've got the YYEN weekend, which this is the start of, and you can join that online. And the Yasodhara Yoga European Network is also offering dreams and a book club and Kundalini and hidden language. So there are things out there that you can find through our website and through our emails. And I personally am offering a professionals course, and that it's in the middle of the third series of that at the moment. But there'll be another one in September starting, and another one following that in the spring. So just close your eyes now for a moment. Again, relax and breathe. And allow yourself to fill with light. See the light all around you. See the light within you. Feel that you can breathe the light. Brilliant light. And I wanted to end with some words from Swami Sukhananda. The whole world and everything in it, mineral, plant, animal, human, is made of the same essential components. We are interconnected on other levels, beyond the physical. As the world becomes a global village, we can recognize this oneness on the subtle spiritual levels through kindness and through peace. And just place your hands open in front of you in a gesture of receiving. And think about the peace that you've experienced today or recently. What moments of peace? And invoke a sense of gratitude for the peace that we have experienced, that we know. And you can bring that to your heart.